Hello everyone! Our topic is all about Asians regionalism. So, I am Florabel Malayan together with my group mates Marian Pansit, Jasmine Ilagan, Crystal Bitangkor, Shanice Arche, and Manilyn Solpot, and also Darwin Dave Albarico. So, as we discuss furthermore, we need to know what is Asians regionalisms. So, Asians regionalism refers to the collaborative efforts of countries within the Asian continent to enhance economic, political, and strategic cooperations. So, when we say collaborative, it's an collaborative of the countries, no? So, this approach aims to address shared challenges and opportunity in the regions, fostering stability and prosperity. So the key examples of Asian regionalisms include organizations like ASEAN. ASEAN is East Asia Summit, an initiative such as China's Belt and Road Initiative. So our objective of our topic is first differentiate between regionalisms and globalizations. Second, identify the factors leading to a greater integrations of the Asia regions. And lastly, analyze how different Asian states and confront the challenges of globalizations and regionalizations. So, for these discussions, we are talking about Asian regionalisms. So as we begin, let it is define and understand the following key terms that are associated with Asian regionalisms. So, regionalism is a process of dividing an area into a smaller segments called regions. So, example is all known that the world is divided in to not just continent but also regions. So regions are groups of countries located in the same geographic area. So for example, Japan, China, Indonesia, Philippines are located within a geographic area of Asia, which is a region and the largest and most diverse continent in the world. So the world region. So among the Asia, the other 8 official recognizing region of the world are Asian, Africa, Caribbean, Central America, Europe, North America, Oceania, and South America rather. So, regionalism is a political ideology that favors a specific regions over a greater area. So, meaning to say, it mostly focuses on regions since they are smaller compared to largest area. Because of this, regionalism is usual result of political separations, regions, geography, cultural boundaries, linguistic regions, and modernly visions. So, why do countries for regional organizations, they form regional organization as a way as a way of coping the challenges of globalization. So next slide is differentiate what is regionalisms and globalization. So when we say regionalization is a process of dividing an area into a smaller segment called region. So regionalisms, it says dividing an area into a smaller segments. Like, mo na siya matawag og regions. Just like us, like Philippines. No, Philippines is dividing like regions. No, region 1, region 2, region 3. That's we called regionalizations. So when we say globalizations, ang globalizations kay a process by which the people of the world are unified into a single society and functions together. So ang globalization kay smaller area segments, kani si globalization is a big segments. So called globalization. So it means people of the world, when we say world, it's big, So, world are unified. So, when we say unified as one, As one. Like, collaborations, like, nagtipon-tipon sa Tagalog. So, unified as one into a single society. Wow. So, and functions together. So, we have a pictures to the slide like diagram. So we have these pictures like globalization. So globalization's integrations of international trade, of investment, technology, and culture. So si globalizations kay its integrations also. More promotions of cultures, foreign direct investments. Then when we say regionalisms, no, regional integrations also, of course, of countries that divided into areas called segments, as I said a while ago. Less promotions of culture, promote domestic product. So si globalizations and regionalizations, both sila ga-aims for economic growth and movements of economic integrations. So globalization is a process which business and other organizations develop international influence or start operating in international scale. So si globalization di ay which the process siya by which business or other organizations to develop international influence or start operating in international skills. So what is integrations? Kay si globalizations kay is a global integrations, also regional integration. So when we say integrations, the key word of integration is to work together or combining or bringing together different parts, elements, or system to function as a unified whole. No, so next slide, please. What are the difference of regionalizations and globalizations? So in nature, no. So in nature, ang globalizations kay go-promote siya integrations of economies of across state borders all around the world. While si regionalizations, ga-divide siya in area into smaller segments in nature. So in market, so globalizations kay ga-allow siya in many corporations to trade on international level. It allows free market. So free market. So when we say free market in globalizations, so ang free market di ay is a free market is on unregulated system of economic exchange that requires no tariffs or just minimal. So when we say what is tariff, so si tariff di ay is a tax by one country on the goods or services imported from another country. So in market, si globalizations ga-allow siya nga na ay free market or free tariffs. So while si regionalizations, monopolies are more likely to develop. Monopoly means one producer controls supply of a good or service, and where the entry of new producers is prevented or highly restricted. In cultural and societal relations. So in cultural and societal relations in global is accelerations to multiculturalism through free and expensive movement of all, while region does not support multiculturalism. So when we say multiculturalism is the view where cultures races. So ethnicities deserve special acknowledgement of their difference within dominant political cultures. So moto say cultures, gaview siya where cultures, races, ethnicities, and deserve special acknowledgement. So it is a situation in which all different cultural or racial group in society have equal rights and opportunities, and none is ignored or regarded as unimportant. So next is aid. So aid in globalization is globalized international communities are more willing to aid countries stricken by disaster, and while regionalizations, a regionalized area does not get involved in the affairs of other areas. Technological advances, globalizations has driven great advances in technology, while regionalization's advanced technology is rarely available in one country or regions. So, in summary, ang Asian regionalism is to refer siya to the political, economic, and social corporations and integrations among countries in the Asian continent. So it is gagain sila to prominence in recent years, and Asian nations have sought to strengthen their lies for various reasons, including enhancing economic growth, ga-increase siya sa geopolitical influence, and addressing common challenges. So, si Asian regionalism is exemplified by organizations like the Associations of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, and the Sanghal Corporations Organizations, which is CSO, which promote collaborations and solidarity among member states while also shaping the regional and globalization landscape.
Regional integration is the collaborative effort of neighboring nation-states to achieve peace, stability, and prosperity by overcoming barriers and jointly managing shared resources. European Union is an example of an organization that promotes regional integration to foster prosperity, peace, and security. Regional integration starts with economic cooperation, leading to political harmonization in areas like education and health care. The ultimate goal is a single market, common currency, central bank, shared foreign policies, and merged armies as seen in the European Union. Economic integration in Asia faced delays due to several factors. First, the region's economic growth was uneven, with countries ranging from medium-high to low income. Second, the diversity of cultures, religions, and the customs in Asia hindered integration due to historical differences. Third, security issues, including terrorism and boundary disputes, negatively impacted the progress of economic integration in Asia. Global economic integration is fostering the integration of East and South Asia, primarily through transport and machinery trade, particularly in processing trade. South Asia, despite increased manufactured exports, remains less integrated than East Asia.
ASEAN has 10 founding members, which are Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, Brunei, Singapore, Philippines, and Indonesia. So, the ASEAN, or Association of Southeast Asian Nations, was established on August 8, 1967 in Bangkok, Thailand. Up to date, there are 10 member states, of which the Philippines is one of its founding members. The gist of the aims and purposes of ASEAN is to accelerate the economic growth, promote on matters of socio-cultural interest, and maintain regional peace and prosperity. So, ASEAN has 3 pillars. So, ASEAN is built on 3 pillars, which are ASEAN Political Security Community, ASEAN Economic Community, and ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community. So, ASEAN Political Security Community, or APSC, aims to ensure peace, stability, and security in the region. It promotes political development in adherence to the principle of democracy, the rule of law, good governance, respect for human rights and fundamental rights, and freedom. ASEAN Economic Community or AEC envision ASEAN as a single market and production base, a competitive economic region and equitable economic development, and an integrated part of the global economy. Lastly, we have ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community. So ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community or ASCC promotes social development, cultural diversity, environmental sustainability, and human rights in ASEAN. So these three pillars work together to create a harmonious and prosperous community that is outward looking and plays a pivotal role in the global community. ASEAN has convened to form the ASEAN community in 2015, of which its four main goals are: first, single market and production base; second, highly competitive economic region; third, equitable economic development; and lastly, fourth, integration into the global economy by Colosso 2015. So the single market and production base refers to the creation of an unified market within ASEAN that allows for the free flow of goods, services, investment, skilled labor, and free flow of capital. It allows businesses to access raw materials, production inputs, services, labor, and capital, where in ASEAN they choose to set up their operation. Next, we have highly competitive economic region. So ASEAN aims to become a highly competitive economic region. This involves creating a business-friendly environment that promotes fair competition, protects intellectual property rights, foster innovation, and enhances market efficiencies. It also includes the development of efficient transportation networks and secure information infrastructure. And next, we have equitable economic development. So equitable economic development, this goal is about reducing development gap within and between member states by promoting inclusive growth that provides equal opportunities irrespective of income, gender, or size of enterprise. It also involves better access to opportunities for human development, social welfare, and justice. And lastly, we have integration into the global economy. This refers to the ASEAN's goal to become a more dynamic and stronger segment of the global supply chain. It also involves not only strengthening economic ties with the ASEAN region, but also enhancing its economic relationship with the rest of the world. And this is achieved through various means such as signing free trade agreements or FTAs and countries outside the region. So these four goals are part of the ASEAN's vision to create a prosperous, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable development community.
AFTA allowed multinational corporations or the MNCs to freely select cross-border bases for economic activities, allowing for the exploitation of factor prices within the region. While sub-regional economic zones or the ESRAs are private sector-led processes aimed at enhancing investment attractiveness by combining advantages and exploiting economic complementaries. These zones, typically located within national borders, aim to increase trade, create jobs, and establish effective administrations. AFTA-DI nag-facilitate sa movement sa multinational corporations or the MNC across ASEAN borders by reducing trade barriers o ginaalaw nila to select bases for economic activity based on cost efficiency and other factors rather. While on the other hand, ang ESRAs or the sub-regional economic zones are mo ni siya ang micro-level strategies implemented within specific regions of a country. O gina-aim nila is to leverage local strengths o gina-encourage ang investments by offering a incentive of favorable conditions for businesses. So we have here the ASEAN Economic Community. So we have here first the Thailand, the Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, Brunei, Singapore, Philippines, and lastly the Indonesia. So according kay Seferino Rodolfo, a former DTI or Department of Trade and Industry Assistant Secretary, ang Philippines daw is nag-experience of remarkable economic growth in its sub-region within Asia. Tapos it suggests nga ang Philippine economy is gadako og paspas ang rate compared sa silingan nga countries in the same geographic area. So ang Philippines po daw kay nag-establish og trade agreements with various organizations including na ang Association of Southeast Asian Nations or the ASEAN og ang World Trade Organizations or the WTO og ang Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation or the APEC. So kani siya nga agreements naga-facilitate og international trade og economic cooperation. So ang ASEAN mao ni siya ang regional bloc of Southeast Asian nations, while ang WTO is mao ni siya ang global body for trade regulations ug ang APEC is mao ni siya ang intergovernmental forum for economic cooperation in Asia Pacific region. So, ang Philippines pod is naga-engage in trade with countries na naay free trade agreements or the FTAs. So ang FTA mo ni siya ang international treaties nga naga-reduce sa trade barriers like tariff or taripa para pod sa Pilipinas nga mag-export sa atong goods and services to other countries. It implies nga ang Philippine po daw is actively ga-participate sa international trade o naga-benefit po ani nga mga agreements. Lastly is ang Republic Act 1064-1. So kani siya is katong 2014 ang Philippines enacted Republic Act 1064-1. Mo ni siya ang na siya significant impact on the country's financial sector. So kani siya nga act nag-allow sa foreign ownership in existing banks and new banking subsidiaries. So essentially, it liberalized the banking industry by permitting foreign entities to have stake in Philippine banks. So kani siya nga policy change opens three modes of entry for foreign investment and banking sector. All of those sector nga akong discuss earlier kay nag-contribute sa country's economic development o international trade relationships.
Challenges on regionalization and globalization. According to COMDO since 1997, through increasing trade and financial sector, integration offers enormous benefits. However, this poses new challenges. So one of the challenges is in trade. The openness of Asian economy encourage competitiveness and transfer of technology. Other countries should open their economies to enjoy the benefit of trade liberalization, while those already benefited must ensure that the openness is extended to new frontiers. So in this statement, it means that as countries become more interconnected through trade, they need to remain competitive. For example, Asian economies have benefited from trade liberalization due to their openness, which encourages competition and technology transfer. So, to enjoy similar benefits, other countries also must also open up their economies. For instance, example, when China opened up its markets to foreign companies, it led to the transfer of technology and investments into the country, spurring in which lead to a spurring economic growth. Another challenge is in the financial flows. Stable macroeconomic policies will give confidence to financial markets and attract private savings in the domestic level and regional cooperation. So when we say macroeconomic policy, it is concerned with the operation of the economy as a whole. So in broad terms, the goal of macroeconomic policy is to provide a stable economic environment that is conducive to fostering strong and sustainable economic growth, on which the creation of jobs, wealth, and improved living standards depend. So this statement highlights the financial challenges, one of the financial challenges in the context of regionalization and globalization. So, firstly, maintaining stable macroeconomic policies like controlling inflation and ensuring fiscal discipline can instill confidence in financial markets, as exemplified by countries like Singapore with its prudent fiscal policies. Secondly, clear and consistent regulatory policies and a reliable legal framework similar to the European Union's financial regulations are necessary to create an attractive investment climate. And lastly, the rapid financial innovation and integration witnessed during the 2008 global financial crisis necessitate updated regulation and supervision to strengthen banking systems without exacerbating sector specific issues. Regional policy coordination is another challenge. Each country has an increasing stake in the sound policies of the others, with countries being more integrated. So, on the talk given by Secretary General of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, Rodolfo C. Severino, at the symposium on AFTA and beyond on May 30, 2002, he said regional integration is the only way to generate sufficient economic activity and improve efficiency, heighten competition, attract investments, and thus create jobs. So, this statement highlights the challenge of regional policy in the context of globalization. So, firstly, it underscores the interdependence of countries within a region and the need for them to support each other's sound policies. For example, the European Union's coordination of policies across member states fosters regional stability. Secondly, it emphasizes the importance of regional integration as advocated by the Secretary General of ASEAN to stimulate economic activity, enhance efficiency, and compete on a global scale. So, this mirrors the European Union's effort to create a single market to boost competitiveness and attract investment. So, lastly, the statement mentions protectionist policies in major economies like agricultural subsidies and anti-dumping measures, which drive the importance of regional of cooperation to ASEAN's push for a stronger band to navigate the fiercely competitive global landscape. So, in summary, the challenges of regionalization and globalization revolve around ensuring fair and open trade, promoting transparency, improving infrastructure, and optimizing public finances, and aligning regional trade initiatives with global trade goals. So, these efforts are essential for countries to reap the benefits of global economic integration.
Challenges: ASEAN and COVID-19. The COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic has had a significant negative impact on the economies of East and Southeast Asia, particularly through obstructing the movements of products and services in the region's global value chain, or GVCs. The ASEAN leaders have extensively examined the pandemic's effects and ramifications on the regional economy, particularly with regards to the regional economic governance, in several meetings to create a better coordinated regional response. Talks with health representatives from ASEAN member states and the ASEAN Plus Three nations, which is the People's Republic of China, Japan, and the Republic of Korea. Agreements to fight the epidemic between heads of states, foreign ministers, defense ministers, finance ministers, ministers of agriculture and forestry, and ministers of labor. Outlining the commitments on related health issues. sharing information on detection, control, and intervention, coordinating cross-border health response, including contact tracing and outbreak investigation, building capacity for public health emergency interventions, scientific research, preparedness, and response, strengthening the early warning system for pandemics and other epidemic diseases, and support to ensure the sufficiency of essential drugs, vaccines, and medical equipment both within the member countries and the global.
Pledge on economic, agriculture, labor, and tourism related issues, ensuring the resilience of supply chain, coordination for preservation, transportation, and distribution technologies and infrastructure to reduce food security, insecurity, technologies and infrastructure to supporting the development and implementation of a post-COVID-19 crisis recovery plan to build up an Asian tourism capabilities and addressing the impact on COVID-19 labor and employment. Here are the regional response on the pandemic. So first is the coordinated region response was different because of the different levels of the infection-specific national response and politic will. Second is the pandemic itself resulted in vastly fundamental tension. The global health and treat needs great coordination and cooperation within the countries in the region. However, the generic response to the crisis focused on lockdowns and border restriction undermines the regional integration. Lockdowns and border closure rendered migration from other countries within the region more vulnerable and neglected.